For 4 centuries, the greatest minds in astronomy have tried to solve the Star of Bethlehem, and for 4 centuries, they have failed. In 1614, Johannes Kepler tried to map planetary alignments to the biblical account. But a convergence of distant planets does not stop and hover over a specific house. The solution remained hidden because of structural blindness. Academic disciplines operate in strict isolation. Astronomers calculate orbital math. Historians read Roman ledgers. Sinologists translate Chinese scrolls. No one overlaps the data. That isolation broke when researchers deployed an AI-assisted multidisciplinary sweep. They scanned every surviving ancient archive simultaneously, ignoring modern departmental boundaries. Overlaying these fragmented disciplines suggests a different story. It points to the star being a documented near-extinction event, a physical threat that brought the human population to the edge of survival in 5 BCE. The first piece of the timeline sits in 7 BCE. A cuneiform tablet from Sippar shows Babylonian astronomers predicting a rare planetary conjunction strictly tied to the territory of Judea. The people calculating these alignments were the Magi. These elite Zoroastrian and Babylonian astronomer priests were actively monitoring the sky for signs of a royal birth. 2 years later, and 4,000 miles to the east, the Chinese Imperial Astronomical Bureau noticed something else entirely. These court officials documented the sudden appearance of a huiseng, a broom star. This is the precise classical Chinese classification for a tailed comet, and they recorded it hanging in the constellation Capricornus for more than 70 days. The Chinese state cared nothing for Judean politics. The Babylonian Magi had no access to the Han dynasty's imperial records, but merging these independent logs reveals a continuous physical event. The Magi calculated the timing of a comet's arrival, right as the Chinese tracked the exact trajectory of a comet entering the inner solar system. The Gospel of Matthew describes a star that went before a traveler and then stopped to stand still over a specific town. Comets and planets do not behave this way. They rise in the east and set in the west. NASA scientist Mark Matney ran the Chinese positional data through orbital mechanics. He discovered a trajectory creating temporary geosynchronous motion. By perfectly matching Earth's rotation, the comet appears frozen. This illusion requires a head-on approach, passing at 0.0026 astronomical units, just 1 lunar distance. As the comet narrowly missed us, Earth plunged through its massive tail. Millions of dust particles slammed into the atmosphere, triggering a blinding meteor storm. This solves the biblical contradiction. Matthew's daytime moving star and Luke's nighttime sky filled with a heavenly host of fire were simply the day and night phases of humanity surviving a single cometary flyby. If a massive comet filled the sky in 5 BCE, we have to ask why Roman historians ignored it. The Roman Empire operated under political compound suppression. In Roman culture, comets were strictly interpreted as omens of absolute disaster, signaling military defeat or the death of a leader. At this exact moment, Emperor Augustus was heavily promoting his Pax Romana, a propaganda campaign of absolute peace. Recording a terrifying celestial omen of destruction was politically suicidal for any chronicler. The silence in the Roman record does not erase the comet. It suggests the existence of a structurally mandated historical blind spot designed to protect the emperor's narrative. A cometary nucleus 10 to 50 kilometers wide, striking Earth at 42 kilometers per second, releases energy dwarfing the asteroid impact that killed the dinosaurs. A fraction of a degree shift in trajectory would have generated thermal radiation and megatsunamis capable of vaporizing the Mediterranean basin. Western civilization would have ended before it began. In the Hellenistic world, the title soter, or savior, was a concrete honor given to leaders who delivered a people from physical destruction. When viewed through this lens, the early Christian title for Jesus shifts from an abstract theology to a potential response to this lived physical deliverance. Apocalyptic texts written decades later carry the same physical signature. The Book of Revelation describes a burning star called wormwood falling into the oceans, poisoning the water. This is compressed cultural trauma, encoding the historical memory of a near impact. The Star of Bethlehem stands as the ultimate survivor's tale. A mountain of ice brought humanity to the absolute brink of annihilation and quietly passed us by.